Well, President Biden was in Minnesota and Wisconsin on Thursday, and the governors of both states were there to greet him when he got off the plane. President Biden and the governors then went to the Blatnick Bridge, which connects Duluth to Superior. The president highlighted the $1 billion in federal money that will be going to help rebuild this all-important bridge to make it safer and able to hold more weight. Governor Tim Walz has increasingly been a surrogate for the president, campaigning for him around the region this season. And the governor joins us now. Governor, thank you so much for coming in.
Good to be with you, Esme.
All right, let me ask you about this campaign. Let's take a quick look at one of the latest polls, very much in keeping with all the other polls. Donald Trump, 43%, Joe Biden, 38%. You're a surrogate. You're campaigning in the region. Are you optimistic about Joe Biden pulling this one out?
Well, I am. You saw the contrast this week where you saw President Biden delivering on the greatest infrastructure bill we've had since the Eisenhower interstate highway system. You see him talking about making real improvements in people's lives. You see economic numbers that are the envy of the world. And on the other side, you see division, you see hate speech, you see meddling in things that we all want to see done. So, yeah, I'm confident now that this is becoming much more of a choice of democracy versus chaos. And right. Americans know.
Well, when you get into the weeds in these polls and look at what people are saying, a lot of people, when asked if they're better off now or were better off under President Trump, they'll say they were better off under President Trump. I mean, that's a big deal.
Well, we were dying about 1 million a month under a pandemic that was not being addressed by the president. We saw unemployment rates of 10%. We saw job growth and people not being able to export their products. So I think over the next 10 months, you're going to get a lot clearer picture. Some of these things appear to be theoretical. If you asked, did you feel better last week or the moment you're in? Look, prices have increased. They've increased globally. And as you saw this week again, global leaders looking to the United States as the way to handle this. Interest rates coming down, prices coming down.
Want to ask you about the new state flag. What do you think of this design? There it is. What are your thoughts about it? Now there are some Republicans who say they will put a bill before the legislature that would somehow put this flag design and the seal design, which is different, the seal has a loon on it, before the public for a vote. What do you think of this? I mean, a lot of people aren't sure about this design.
Well, look, governors have to deal with a lot of things. This is not the top one on that, but our current flag is problematic. I think we all know that. We've evolved into a more diverse state, and I think it's more reflective of that. But look, while Republicans are going to be talking about this, I'm going to be building roads, bridges, and water treatment plants. While Republicans are talking about this, I'm going to be making sure our kids are eating and we're creating job creation. So they can debate it in the legislature. We'll see where it goes. But I think anytime change comes, I think a lot of Minnesotans, when they look, our flag looks like 19 other states. The
current flag.
Yeah, the best designs are Colorado, Texas, South Carolina, because they follow basic flag principles. And that's what the committee who put this together, very diverse group, and we have experts in that. I did not know there were necessarily experts in flag design, but there are.
Okay. So. Let me ask you about infrastructure, since we're talking about that. You have a $1 billion bonding bill that you're going to propose, that you have proposed.
Yeah.
Among the specific projects, a new headquarters for the State Patrol, which doesn't have one. I think people might be surprised. How confident are you that you'll be able to get the 60% of both the House and Senate to vote for your bill?
Well, we almost always do, and there's great partners. I just have to name Representative Erdahl, a Republican representative, is a champion on this. He understands this. He's fiscally conservative. He knows what needs to happen. I think when you've got champions on both sides of the aisle, we'll work something out. This is really focused on maintaining the assets that we have, public safety issues, BCA facility in Mankato, and then keeping the buildings that we have. There's a reason Minnesota is one of the rare states with a AAA bond rating. We take care of our assets. So I think this should get done. And there's a lot of room in there for the legislature to have more local projects that they see fit.
In terms of another bill that may come up is one of the only things that didn't seem to get done in the last legislative session. They got so much done, was a sports betting bill. It's enormously popular. One of the proposals from Senator Miller, obviously the former Republican majority leader, would roll back the changes to pull tabs.
Yeah.
And this is really, this is a sticking point, but it's complicated.
Yeah, well, I think, first of all, thanks Senator Miller for putting a proposal forward. I do hear from a lot of Minnesotans, and I fall into the category that I trust adults to make their own decisions around these things. Sports betting is one of those things. It can be problematic if you have problem gambling, but it also is an opportunity for folks to participate in that entertainment. I do think adding it back into, clarifying the rule around the electronic pull tabs that paid for the Viking Stadium, probably a non-starter because it's going to be too divisive, but there's a lot in that proposal and others that are out there that I think if it can get through the House and the Senate, I'll certainly sign it.
You'll certainly sign it, okay. Want to talk to you about taxes. There are critics who say Minnesota's taxes are still too high. And specifically, I know that you enacted many tax cuts.
And cuts, that's right.
Yes, increases and cuts though, but the cuts were targeted mostly to families,
yes,
of lower income folks. There are people who say, why not finally eliminate the tax on Social Security, eliminate those kinds of taxes?
Well, we eliminated the tax on Social Security for 80% of Minnesotans. So the highest earning Minnesotans are going to pay a little bit on that. And remember, Minnesota is ranked as the most age-friendly state in the country. Minnesota was also recognized as the most equitable tax state, meaning it is the fairest of all the 50 states. Look, if you're a top-end earner, you are paying a little more than some other states. But if you're middle class, a teacher, a firefighter, you are paying less and fairer than almost any other state. So I think the issue here is that you get what you pay for. You get roads, bridges. The tax equitable piece matters to me. The Social Security piece on this, again, if you are in that bracket with 80% of Minnesotans, you're going to pay nothing on Social Security. So I would rather feed kids and cut taxes to our millionaires and billionaires. And I think that's just philosophically where we're at.
Well, the school program was breakfast and lunch seems to be a huge success.
Huge success.
Everybody's signed up for that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your future, because a lot of people are saying, what is Governor Walz doing campaigning in Iowa on behalf of the president? Are you considering a run for president, or are you considering a run for re-election, or are you going to just take it easy in a couple of years?
Well, I'm doing my job. I think the one thing, if I'd say, I'm a good team player, and I think people would say that when I was in Congress, Republican and Democrats, and I'm out there working hard because I think the choice is an existential threat to our democracy, and I think President Biden has been delivering. I want to get out there. I think I deliver a message, certainly in the Midwest, that sounds more Midwestern, and I think Minnesota is an example. When I travel to these states, we wish we could be Minnesota. We wish we could do these things. We wish we weren't banning books in our state.
But what are you going to do in 2 years?
I think you wait and see what happens when that goes. So that's where I'm at.
So you could run for another term.
There are not term limits in Minnesota,
yes,
and I know all your Republican listeners have just ruined their Sunday
they're
morning.
All applauding,
but
yes.
We'll see. Minnesotans will make that decision.
Okay. Well, Governor Tim Walz, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Esme.
Okay.